Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action, I hope. I am your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three jack-o'-lanterns that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asherford Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
Hi.
And in the bottom right, we have Gunn Shough, Human Champion of Erastil, played by Adam.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
And
I don't know how to say hello to people.
How do you greet people anymore? Did you
fine,
just shake
it's
the
fine.
hand? Is it the elbow now?
Hi works.
Hi.
You just wave from a distance. From a distance.
I want to make that a sub sound. That'd be pretty great. Every time somebody subscribes, you just get Char's hi.
Hi.
That's okay.
I could have given a pumpkin seed fact, but then I felt bad about it, and I didn't know what to do.
Wait, is the pumpkin seed fact sad, or?
Do you
No,
have
it's
a
not.
lot of these?
I didn't know what to do. No, I was reading because I was like, man, I wonder how many carbs pumpkin seeds have. And they
27.
have 5 grams per 4th cup. So that's
not
my
bad.
pumpkin fact.
Good to know.
Here.
Yay, pumpkin facts.
Is
Anyway.
that a lot?
No,
It's
it's,
really
not
not,
very
actually.
much. It's 2% of your daily value of carbs, and they're probably good for you.
So you
they're
have to
pretty.
eat
They're
about
pretty nice too. I have a bag downstairs.
12 and a half cups.
Been having them.
A day.
That sounds reasonable.
All right. Last time on Third Action, a group of intrepid adventurers explored the sort of training hall in the Halls of Wrath. After having cleared it out of its occupants, one had fled to a teleporter in the north, but you decided to give the room a once-over and eliminate a few of the training dummies to make your traversal of the area a bit easier. Training dummies being able to slap you around if you ended your turn near them. Having satisfied your curiosity by examining a couple of the rooms, which seemed to be waiting rooms of sorts and a large banquet or meeting hall, you then turned your attention to the north, did a little bit of healing, and then made your way into the teleporter, the blue teleporter. Ready for a fight, you in fact got one. You were immediately surrounded on the other side of the teleporter by 3 warriors of wrath, who immediately struck out at you, but you got the upper hand, rolling a faster initiative. You dispatched 2 of them quite quickly, terrifying the shit out of the third one, who then fled into the exit teleporter out of the room. You are in the midst of rushing to try and stop her when my internet went out, and we ended on a really big cliffhanger, and my cable is constantly tangling and twisting.
Careful with the cable, it'll take the internet out again.
Yeah,
All of
I
Comcast.
should be careful with it.
It's running
They
through
really
his
shouldn't have
headphones.
run that through your house. I'm not sure why they did that. Dangerous.
So small as well.
Yes, incredibly tiny.
Internet's not very big. You don't need to carry it. But
All right, no more fiddling with the internet
Some
cable. It's battle time. So let's go and jump back over here. Let me get the initiative tracker back open. So
goodbye,
I
Gunn.
believe,
Trying to prevent this person from setting up a second ambush.
yes. Let's see.
Plus once.
Whoa, is it just me or did this music just kick into high tempo?
I mean, it did, but
It was playing like double
It's only
speed
fast?
there for a second.
oh,
Weird
don't know.
for me anyway.
Okay. Maybe it's Zoom. Okay, I have the wrong gun on the initiative tracker. Let's start by fixing that.
I don't recall what his initiative is, but it's more
It's
than 26 and less than 42. There you go.
No, I was like
It's 39. It's
second
39.
to last. 39? Oh.
Yep. I have it here, but
I just rolled really low.
I've got multiple copies of you on the field, is the problem.
I see.
But when you're on a hidden layer, I can see the other initiative, but I had two versions of you rather than moving the token. But in any case, Gunn, you are up currently with a 39 on initiative. Next is the Warrior of Wrath who got away with a 26. And then the end of the round, and then Asher with a 43 and Greshy with a 42. Greshy and Asher are currently standing on the other side of the teleporter, waiting to teleport. Gunn has already just teleported through. You heard the sound of footsteps echoing in the hall up ahead, but you don't immediately see where she's gone.
Okay, well, I'm going to run around the corner out to here first. So that puts me just on the edge of the. Oops. Yeah. See anymore.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way down towards the hall, or towards the training dojo hall, and quickly scan the room. You don't immediately notice her. You can see all the way down into the chamber up ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to proceed across to the other chamber. Get to about here, maybe.
You cannot walk through a training dummy, but
so there's one move. Don't see anybody.
So the training dummies themselves are difficult terrain, even the ones you've destroyed.
Oh, okay, even the ones you've destroyed.
Yeah, sorry. The ones you've destroyed are difficult terrain. The ones that you have not destroyed are fully blockers. Like, you can't walk through them.
Then that puts me one square shorter.
Okay.
On the second move of the round. And then the next one will take me straight across to here, I suppose.
Okay, you charge further into the room, trying to see where she could have gone. Was that 3 movements? 1, 2, 3?
That's 3 moves.
Okay. It is her turn.
Do I hear at the end of this turn the teleporter ahead of me activating? Is kind of my question.
No, you do not, in fact, hear the teleporter. But you do hear a sound from behind you, as you had not noticed her. But she ducked into a room behind you. She steps out, still shaking with fear. Actually, this... What's the... You feared her with fear, right? The spell.
Aye, so she would have been 4, I believe.
She was frightened.
So it should be down to 3 and not fleeing anymore.
It was frightened 3 and fleeing, so she's frightened 2 and not fleeing anymore. So yeah, she steps out and glowers. She is going to cast. What does this have? One sec.
Oh, she's right here. Hold on.
Hi, 3.
Yeah. I think this is just an attack roll. She's going to cast a spell towards you, Gunn. This is going to be against your AC. I can't spell. That's what's going on. Okay. Let's try to find the spell details. Okay. Yeah, spell attack roll. Bonus. Ooh, that is not nearly going to hit. No, that is like an 18 to hit. A beam of focused energy comes flying towards you, but goes actually quite wide and hits one of the training dummies near you. You can see as the thin beam connects with the training dummy, it starts to dissolve a hole in the center, and it like leaves a massive hole in it. She curses in Thessalonian, and end of the round. So at the end of the round, you hear from further behind you the teleportation circle that you'd come through, activating as as Phelan, Asher, and Greshy warp
In order
to the
of
other
importance.
side.
Oh, no.
Fix that initiative.
Only know Phelan's most.
It's true. Phelan is the most important.
So it should be Greshy with a 42, and Asher is first with a 43. Okay, top of round 3. Asher, you are up.
Time to go move around. Okay. What? Not really anywhere with that. Ah, I see Gunn.
Did Phelan get his readied action?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Phelan.
yeah.
Phelan had a readied action, so you can use Phelan's readied action first.
He's just moving, so.
Okay, so yeah, you can charge out. I forgot that you readied an action with him.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Hey, there she is.
Ah,
So yeah, Phelan charges out just before you do, Asher.
did you
And,
say anything about her being there?
I do.
Or-
That's
okay.
exactly what I said. Oh, there she is.
Oh, cool. Because I'm like, I'll just keep running if not.
Yeah, Phelan and Greshy charge out, and then Phelan's head turns, and so does Greshy's, and then he says what he says.
I can't fully point her out. That takes an action, but I
Here,
look in a
then.
direction.
Okay, you round the corner
and,
after, and you
there
can see
she
her
is.
there. Ah,
That was
fuck. I
2
forgot.
runs.
Before you finish your
Oh.
runs, I'm going to keep interrupting your turn. Gunn, I need...
It's okay.
This is just... this is an
Ooh.
attack roll.
Oh god, that would change.
I hanging out next to the dummy. Shake.
You would end your turn next to one of the dummies, which would react. That's a 38 to hit your AC. I think that's a miss. Oh, no, it's a
I
hit.
will use my reaction to raise my shield to block that.
Okay, so just in the nick of time, you pop your shield
Yeah,
up.
otherwise that would hit.
Yeah, okay. It swings around a, in this case it's got a falchion that swings towards you, and you manage to block it with your shield. Sorry. Asher, continue your turn.
Alright, here he comes. Pushing against the wall.
Alright,
I don't
you
wanna
dart
do
in
that.
and then back away from one of the training dummies as you see Gunn get struck at by one.
She's still hunt preyed. That's what the little orange thing means, right?
Yes, you still have her targeted.
Yeah.
She
I will
is
hunted shot her.
okay. So with some racks of weapons and things between the two of you, you aim over them and take 2 quick shots.
Will that take a... Should I account for a
No.
minus of some kind?
Nope.
Okay.
Not in this case. They're like
That's
knee high.
Sure.
They're not high enough to be covered. And she's only frightened 1 now from the end of her turn.
Okay, I have no idea what I'm rolling. A 45 and a 24.
Okay, the 45, that's definitely a crit. And the 24 is just a hit. Oh, sorry, it's a miss.
Okay.
Sorry, miss. Oh, wait,
Oh,
sorry.
good. That's
Hold on.
less work for me. Oh,
No, it's
Oh,
still,
wait.
yeah, it's still miss.
okay.
I forgot to count for fear.
I don't have any... I have no pluses. I've added heroism already. Cool. Alright. Let's roll some damage.
So yeah, 2 quick shots fire. One of them lands in one of the weapon racks behind her. The other stabs her right in the neck for 22 plus 20 points of piercing, plus another 13 precision piercing, plus 7 deadly, for 62 so far, plus another 5 frost, cold flame, cold fire, and then another 9 cold and fire for 76 points of damage.
Okay, and that is all the raw damage.
And she
It's
needs
also
to
on
do-
fire for 1d10.
Okay, she's
And her
1d10
fortitude
fire.
save just in case.
She
And
passes
pin,
the fort
perhaps.
save.
Oh, she's good for her.
But
She is
she is
now
on fire.
flat-footed until my next turn, and I don't know if she can be pinned to anything.
Yeah, you
Perhaps.
pierces her neck and then pins her to the door frame behind
Oh,
her.
jeez. More
She's
of
gasping for
Alright.
air.
those. Oh,
She tries to
Just
make
shot a
out
little-
in. Oh, you're seeing the journal tab. Sorry. Whoops. Good call. Thank you.
Honestly, wasn't even looking, so yeah.
But chat looks. Chat wants to know the damage rolls. It's juicy, juicy.
They do, it's
Chat.
important.
Okay, that was, what, 2 movements and a 100 shot? So,
2
Greshy.
moves and 100 shots.
All right, let's see, close enough? Probably not. All right. Well, we'll spend an action to have Phelan move in and attempt to chomp. Actually, spend 2 actions to give him 3. That way he has enough to get over with, I assume, difficult terrain. So 5,
yeah,
10?
all of these spaces would be difficult terrain.
All along the wall, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. 20, 30, 40, 50. That's annoying. But alright, so he'll continue moving up to get right next to her and take a chomp.
Okay, so
we
Phelan just
can
kind
just-
of barrels
I don't
through
know,
all this
finish it off.
stuff against the wall. I would say that now all of the spaces. Let me draw. All of these spaces are now difficult terrain, as Phelan's just kind of knocked shit all over the place.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's making a mess of everything. But yes, a 32 to hit.
Should be 30. She's flat-footed.
He is flat-footed. And feared. Well, 1 fear, but still.
There'll be a total of effective 35. That'll still hit. That's not a crit though.
That's fine. Phelan attempts to chomp her head off. 23 piercing damage and 4 electric.
23 piercing and 4 electric for a total of 27. Phelan gets a real good chomp on her. Grabbing onto, just like biting her torso. She screams out in pain and she tries to wiggle herself free. Phelan, I guess, gets kind of pushed back a little bit as she breaths her body out. But she's still trying to grasp at her neck as well. She's hurt really
Unfortunate. I
bad.
was not expecting her to live through that. That's unfortunate. I guess we're going to spend our third action to just pat Phelan, remind him what a good boy he is, and heal him up a bit.
Okay.
And have the one action do it with. So, whew,
Oh, that's a
look at the
juicy
mates.
heal animal.
44 healing back for Phelan.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, you heal up Phelan. Gunn.
So she's still ticking there?
Barely,
if
but
grasping at your bleeding throat, trying to make out words, is still kicking. Yeah.
20, 25. 25 is enough out of 30. I'm going to stop right here. And I'm just going to cast Divine Lance. So a beam of, so this is a 2 hit of 40.
40. You you charge over and do like an overhand swing with your sword, and as you do, you create this like green burst
Sword
of energy
beam!
that forms into an arrow that's like hits her like dead on in the chest. 19 points of damage is enough to take her out. She is like pinned up against the wall by this like green energy and the arrow in her neck. And as the arrow kind of fizzles out, she just kind of slumps over, her neck like falling slack against the wall, and she is dead. Combat is over.
I think Greshy or Phelan probably needs to make a reef save or get attacked. Either way.
Yes. Yeah. So
we'll move after this, but obviously wouldn't have time.
That is true. 41 to hit Phelan.
Skills hit Phelan, not a crit.
Okay. Phelan takes 33 points of damage as a glaive strikes him in the hindquarters.
Oh,
from the training dummy.
Back away from that.
Poor boy. We're getting away from that then.
And he scoots away.
He yelps and starts running and causing more.
Just knocking out some more stuff.
Everything. All of it. All of it difficult terrain now.
Well,
I'm not going to mark it anymore, but yeah, it is all difficult terrain. Along the side of the just weapons and shields and bits of armor and things are all scattered about on the floor.
I believe we stopped her from recruiting any more reinforcements. And the fact that she went in there could indicate that there weren't any more reinforcements she could call on. But that
doesn't seem right.
It's a weak indication.
Isn't there their high lady?
Yeah. Yeah, we're still expecting there are more people. So she probably just ducked in there because she knew she couldn't cross the whole room here in time before we could reach her.
She might have been trying to hide, at least for moments. But, I don't know, she was standing out there right in the open, so she wasn't hiding very well.
I'm fairly disturbed by some of the things that were happening in that laboratory, so let's go make sure we shut that stuff down.
All right. We'll start making our way around through the difficult terrain.
Jeez. Actually, what does she have on her person?
Probably more magic.
Just
cool.
Yes, she has. So Asher begins to make his way past the body after having walked over towards where Greshy was in the corner. But you kind of get like a ooh, and turn back and kneel down and start rifling through her stuff. This one had a her weapon of choice was a falchion, clearly a +1 striking falchion. Unlike some of the other warriors you've seen, she has an array of alchemical tools on her, like some bandoliers of tools on her person, including a few potions, or perhaps not potions, but elixirs of various kinds. Seems to have a set of just various like alchemical ingredients, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Any more of that? You'll got any more of that +1 mithril chain shirt? Mithril.
She does have one, yes.
Mithril's pretty valuable. We
can definitely
don't
use it for something.
We don't really have the space in the bag for more weapons, but we definitely have space for more mithril armors.
Okay. I don't have the bag.
No, here, and Greshy will come back over. Actually, Greshy himself is going to come back over since Phelan's a bit too big to get around with all of these things trying to hit him. So what are we shoving in here now?
Gunn wants the mithril shirt, I think.
All right.
It's pretty light.
That shouldn't be too bad then.
These are quite valuable armors.
I mean,
Kind of morbid having to
They're
undress.
so light. Yes, it is. But
Well, I guess they're clothed under it, but it's like
they should be wearing clothes underneath. Yeah, you wouldn't want to wear a chain shirt.
Yeah.
Right under your
would
skin.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, in most
We're
cases,
just like,
the
all right,
armor,
lift him up.
the armor is usually on top in some way. So, yeah, you're able to unfasten her chain shirt and pull it off of her without leaving her in like a state of
Skyrim.
compromisingness. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure how much we should be concerned about compromising her. We almost took her head clean off.
True. That would
Unless
have
you're
made
into
taking
that.
the shirt off easier.
I mean, kind of. With the head gone, there's nothing there in the way. But
The arms are still there.
Some
I-
people, that's what
It's just, I think about it sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, loot the body, and then I'm like, you kind of
Mhm.
get to pick her up.
taking
and,
their clothes.
all right,
Pick
one
them up and
arm,
shake them a bit.
put it
Pretty
in.
morbid. You have a
Aye, but
you have
we're
like a
adventurers, we do
flash
this.
of like, oh, this actually does feel kind of weird. It's much
Weird.
easier to do when you're
Oh,
looting
go
after
on
had
the
a flash of greed and regrets it.
monsters, but
But like, we know a lot of town guards and sheriffs and other like lower level paladins and so on that were back in the
Oh,
conclaves that will
that's
get
a
very
very
good use
nice thought of you.
out of these things.
Aye. I hear. I thought you were wanting to try and pawn them or something, but all right, sure. I'm sure the guards could actually make great use of these things.
Donation.
The ones that survive from the raiding.
Well, I mean, we
But
probably get some amount of
Well-
like value out of it too.
of course,
Donation.
I was waiting to hear about that part, but
Hey,
Oh,
you're
Gunn wants to make a
you're
donation.
the-
Yeah.
the one who follows Abadar here.
oh, aye, but you don't.
Dun dun dun. The argument over God.
I'm just
So-
saying. I expect there to be transactional.
Before you go playing
Oh.
devil's advocate with me.
But yeah, she
Into my
had
motives.
a set of alchemical tools on her, just alchemist tools, as well as 3 vials of liquid that are like distinct, either potions or oils or elixirs or something.
Be water.
3
I
mysterious
suppose
waters.
you two could take
Mix them
strange looking
together.
waters. Just mix them into one and chug it.
I don't
So
want
I'm-
to carry 3 containers of water.
I'm-
That was not a great
Now
bar
just
that did
adding
that.
things directly into the sheet as we go this time.
That's good. Let's go check out this room with the sin spawn and see if
Yeah,
make sure that
let's-
they're not coming back to life. I'm worried about
I
that.
think this is where they were making more sin spawn, and I'm worried that they were that these victims they have here were probably the folk from the Envy Wing that they recently defeated. So
Maybe they consented to turning into.
Who would want to do
Spawn.
that?
You're just sick of being a person, You're like, I'll
What I
try
need-
that.
I need 3 extra mouth parts.
Yeah, that seems great.
You know, I could always use an extra hand. It's not a bad thing, but
Always wanted to eat bigger bites of things.
Yeah, I can see it.
never really
Asher.
wanted my head to split
see
open
Asher.
to eat things, though.
Thinking that.
Alright.
That just feels like you're not going to really get a good taste of it.
I'd try it out,
Okay, so you guys make your way into the teleporter back to the northern room. There, I didn't mark her as KO, but she's KO. There are the flaming and how about the
I think she was invisible and became visible on accident or something.
oops, yeah, she's not supposed to be there. Okay.
She
There.
disappeared. All right,
Okay,
Greshy is going to
so yeah.
hop off of Phelan.
Both with this very long hallway. Behind you is this strange
Oh, yeah.
statue of perhaps some kind of lizard or dragon or worm-like creature with giant glowing eyes. The
What
two
would,
teleporters on
What
either
would you
side.
roll to attempt to recognize that thing?
The creature?
As a
I would
specific-
allow either
Yep.
nature or arcana, with different difficulties depending on which one you
Oh.
choose. Further
That's funny.
up,
I was going to guess religion or occultism.
Incorrect. The other two spellcasting traditions.
Okay.
Oh, sort of.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes, and as far as the rest of the room goes, the left side of the room is almost entirely weaponsmithing, weapon and armor smithing stuff. You've got anvils, you've got tons of armor and weapons in various states of manufacture. A hearth, what do you call those words? Blanking.
Anvil?
Fireplace thing. Yeah, whatever.
Forge?
Oh, forge.
A forge. Yes, there we go. Thank you. A massive forge with bellows and other tools for crafting weapons. On the right hand side of the room is filled with these massive glass tubes that each have a humanoid person in various states of flesh warpingness. They all seem to be adult-sized, but in different states of flesh warping. In the middle of the room, we have a bunch of scattered desks surrounding some kind of like table or altar, with two naked Sinspawn laid out, just fully vertical, I guess, or like flat on the ground,
Horizontal?
or flat on
Vertical?
the surface.
Flat on the.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're just lying flat,
Laid out.
with their arms at their sides, is what I was trying to say.
Okay.
And their bodies are in various states of dissection. And then in the back of the
Okay, so
chamber,
they don't look like they're sleeping.
The type of sleep.
Now that we've got a better look, at least.
at a
From a
glance,
distance, it might have looked like they might have been alive.
yeah, at a glance, it doesn't look like they're just sleeping. It looks like they've been dissected, at least partially. But their anatomy is so weird that you can't really tell if that's enough to call them dead. And then, in the back of the room, you kind of have three separate chambers separated by these like large partition walls. On the left-hand side is a bunch of barrels and caskets filled with something, and there's some ladders with which you could climb up to various levels. And on the right-hand side, there are more flat, like Japanese-style barrels with simple wood lids that you could like lift off, and they're all stacked fairly neatly. And then in the center of the chamber, center of the back chambers, there's a massive cauldron with bubbling liquid of some kind that's being fed into or out of three massive pipes that go into the wall. And that cauldron has a steel ladder leading up to it. So yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Okay.
Lovely.
Well, Greshy, my first concern is, are any of these creatures going to get up and attack us? So let's see
Do
if
with
we
them
can...
first, You want to try taking off the Sinspawn's heads? I don't know how well they do with those, but most things don't.
Does this circle look dangerous in any way? Active, magically?
Yes, there is what seems to be some kind of arcane circle sigil drawn underneath this altar. It would be an Arcana check to identify or
Give it a
determine the
try.
properties of this. Otherwise, a detect
Slightly
magic or
trained.
something could work.
I don't have detect magic, but I do have a 23 Arcana check. I'm really just looking to see is it active?
Well, it's not obviously glowing or anything. You don't see any kind of visible signs of magic with your 23. To you, it seems almost decorative.
Okay. I will glance at Greshy and see if he wants to confirm or deny that.
Well, if you don't think it's magical?
But I'm gonna kind of like go up there and make sure they're fully dead, I suppose.
I don't have Oh, I do have detect magic tonight. Okay, I was like, didn't do either? I will try detecting magic on it as Gunn just walks across.
Okay. So you think about it for a second.
I would not have waited on purpose, but...
Sure. Gunn starts walking across.
I stopped. Well, I stopped to watch to see what. I stopped to get confirmation from Greshy about what I thought.
Okay. Yeah, Greshy, you cast detect magic. You pick up. Let's see. Sorry, detect magic will give you pulse.
It just tells me that there's magic, and I can find the highest level magic in a pulse of some space.
30 feet, I think.
That sounds right. I don't imagine it'd be any bigger.
I fucked up with that. Okay. Yeah, you detect evocation magic. Just light evocation magic in the area. The circle itself is not currently giving off any magical aura, though.
Okay. Seems safe for the moment, Gunn.
I say you can pinpoint the highest level of magic in the area.
Right.
That would be the two flames burning on either side of the altar, which are clearly evocation.
Okay. Makes
They're
sense.
sitting in these massive bronze torches.
Any of the feelings I'm getting are overwhelmed by the two torches there, but tells me there's probably nothing to worry about with the circle.
Up adjacent to the tables with my sword drawn and confirm whether these things have been cut apart sufficiently or whether I need to do some more.
Okay. Yeah,
Hacking.
you approach the bodies. There is a table in the way right here, but you can kind of scoot it over to the side.
Or,
All
right.
Some papers, scrolls fall off and rattle across the ground. The two bodies don't seem to move as you approach. And looking them over, you can instantly see that both, in addition to what seem to be like medical like incisions and like proper dissection wounds, but you also see what clearly look like burn marks, scars, almost certainly damage resulting from a battle of magic or involving magic. They seem to have like seared flesh in a couple of places. And in fact, you've seen enough magic to get a sense that these are probably, some of these burns are probably from specifically abjuration spells, force spells, like force protection spells. They're probably like backlashes from evocation magic.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Fuck.
So
Did I say
were they
evocation? I
trying
meant
to-
abjuration.
Abjuration. Mhm.
Abjuration.
No, that makes sense. So, I'll muse out loud. Were they trying to revive them or just figure out something about what was done to them? But, well, what about these pods in the wall? These look like they were creating more sin spawn from humans, which is not how we thought sin spawn were made. We thought they were made by
Are they
bleeding in a
making
well.
sin spawn?
So Greshy goes up
I don't
to
know
one
what the
of
hell these things are.
and is looking intently into it. While that's going
Typically, I
on.
want to tap on it and see if it moves. But
Okay.
not sure what he doing.
Me.
Greshy taps on the glass. Asher, it seems like you went back
Whoops.
towards the statue.
Yeah,
true?
I just wanted to see if I could figure out what this was, since I'm a nature guy.
Sure, yeah, nature or arcana. Oops, I accidentally tapped a button.
Ooh.
Ignore that.
Right.
Starts over.
Go nature. That's a 30 for my nature check.
30, okay. Let's see.
Strange statue.
This is a very strange statue. Okay. This creature certainly appears to be dragon-like, but not like the dragons that you're used to. Its face is like squatter, a bit more flat. It almost looks like a kind of dog-like in nature. You try to think about where you've seen one of these before, and in your, I believe you have, you've looked at weird books of strange creatures before, and this appears to be an eastern dragon of some kind. You're not sure exactly what eastern dragon this is, but it is definitely a non-native to Varizia dragon.
Okay.
But now that you're this close, you can see that the two eyes are clearly made of two massive glowing gemstones. When I say massive, like as big as your hand. And thank you for the
Pretty
raid.
good.
Not you
I
specifically.
feel like
but...
this was a scene in Aladdin, and that I shouldn't be touching them.
Are you trying to suggest Asher as a boo?
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know how hungry Asher is for gemstones, but I'll relay this information to my gemstone-loving friend, Gunn. I maybe loves gemstones, and he is stronger than me.
I was sure she was going to be talking about the dwarf, but no.
Yes, my gun-loving friends, but mainly, or my gem-loving friends.
We love Gunn too.
We love Gun. We love gems. That's fun.
Oh, there's some stones in there?
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if they're magic or not, actually, because I can't detect that.
we can
But
always try to find out.
there are indeed
I mean,
giant
they're glowing so
gemstones.
brightly that they seem obviously magic to you.
I don't know if that's obvious, you know.
Okay, sure, fine.
No, it is.
You can put
It's
light on just
Asher,
about
it's hard to
anything.
say what's obvious with him. Sometimes he knows everything about it, and sometimes he's completely clueless.
You know stuff
Actually,
about
what-
nature. You would know that there's not many naturally occurring gems that just glow without the presence of, like, sunlight or some other kind of light.
Would I be able to do a check to figure out what that is, or do I have to find a magic? One of my
You are
two
magic.
magical friends. It's weird magic though.
Oh no, cat, don't
You're
grow up on that.
Magic is
If you're-
magic.
No.
I was gonna say if you're trained in a magical school, you could do that, but I think you have improvisation, so sure, you can roll one of the 4 magical schools.
We all have improvisation. It's so good.
So
What are my
probably nature
magic
for you,
schools?
presumably.
My arcana.
Yeah, arcana,
nature,
occultism,
yes.
nature, or religion.
Alright, let's do nature. I will never click. 39.
39.
Good.
Okay.
I'll laugh
so
and
this
put
would,
one away.
you don't have quick identifications. This will take you 10 minutes to identify. So I'll get back to
Touch
you on
them.
that while
That's fine.
you're clearly examining the gems. Okay. Greshy, that conversation's happening, but you tap on the glass of one of these pods, and the creature inside, it looks like the bottom half of this one is very Sid Spawn-esque. It's got the weird Char probably knows the name for when you have like bird legs. I don't know what.
What?
Oh,
The
tardigrade?
reverse knee thing.
Yes, that.
I don't know that.
Okay, I feel like we've said this before.
Why would I know that?
I don't know. You know anatomy
bird
more than I do.
knees? I don't know about birds.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, is it retrograde? What? What was it? You said
I
it.
feel like it's something.
Something like along those lines.
Well, I said
Digigrade.
tardigrade, but that's pretty sure that's wrong. I'm trying to remember. Something grade?
That's toes.
Digitigrade.
Digigrade?
That's when
Maybe
you're
that's
on
what it
your
is.
toes.
Yeah, that one.
Are
Okay, maybe
birds
I'm
on
just getting
their
it entirely
toes?
wrong.
Well,
No, I have to know what.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, in any case, they've got weird legs.
which person is the least messed up?
Least messed up? You'd have to go through looking at each one, but you can start scanning them. The one that Greshy tapped, it doesn't seem to respond. It is just kind of floating in what seems to be some kind of very viscous fluid. But you can see that it is seemingly breathing inside there. Its chest is moving up and down.
I don't know the best way to deal with this, but I don't think we want to let them out. Because it looks like it's alive of some sort, but it didn't move.
Well, if we can find the most human, maybe we can.
Are they
Open it up
arrayed in a
and-
scale where that goes least to most human, perhaps in terms of transformation?
So if you guys take the time to
Or-
look through each of them to try and determine which is the least transformed, they're all just in different states of transformation that are all roughly
Right.
equivalent. I wouldn't say any one is less transformed than the others. They're all about halfway, just in different states. Like some of them have humanoid.
When I tapped on the
human
glass,
faces,
did it
some
sound
of them
thick?
Yes, it did sound very thick.
Probably
How
not
about the
particularly
most
big.
human face then?
Sure. The one right next to Greshy's has a pretty distinct human face. The eyes are closed, but clearly like masculine features. No facial hair, or no hair at all, actually. All of these bodies are fully hairless. The face is mostly intact, save for there. You can see, like in the lip, there's a bit of splitting occurring. But the hair.
Greshy,
sorry, yeah.
Can you find any way we could shut this system down?
I can look. I don't see anything right here. But my concern is
otherwise
shutting
let
it
them out.
down may wake them up.
Well, what if we just did one?
Well, let's see if we can figure out a way to turn it off at all first, because I have no idea if I can do that. Asher, any luck?
That's a good question. Do I have any
Otherwise
luck?
Otherwise, we can take an axe to the glass.
Oh, boy.
Let me get the item for you. I forgot. You keep talking while I find the item.
Well,
I don't remember what it's called.
I mean, we could break them out, but my hope was more to sound a bit grim, but take care of them before we released them, for the most part. I mean, obviously you want to talk to one, it sounds like, and that's fine, but the rest of them don't need to be
Right.
ambulatory
Well, I mean, it's entirely possible
or
that
life.
taking them out could. There's a couple of different possibilities. It could straight up kill them just to take them out early. It could leave them mentally unsound.
I'd rather not torture the poor creatures. They already look like they're going through a
Agreed.
lot, but I
Agreed.
Also have no
Certainly.
doubt that they would attack us the moment we let them out, so...
Mm-hmm. Like, the best case is that they're still mentally human, but in that case, they're going to be very distressed by being subjected to this transformation. It's not going to be a good moment for them, no matter what.
Is the
But it
liquid
seems
that's
better than
in
letting
it,
them be fully transformed into monsters.
Is the liquid that's in it the same as the liquid that's in the vat? The big vat in the back? Is that what's transforming them?
Oh, that's a good question.
Can I go take a look if necessary? I would.
Sure. Yeah, you can turn and make your way over there to go take a look. Asher, you've identified these as what was your roll? 39. Yeah. Okay. You identify these as greater flaming stars. This is a type of magical gem known as a spell heart. They store very potent energy inside of them. And in particular, these two gems, when affixed, they can be affixed to either a weapon or armor. And while they're affixed, they give you the ability to cast a spell, or two spells in this case. They give you a cantrip, produce flame, and let you once per day cast fireball. And while they're on a weapon, after you cast a fire spell through the star, then it adds extra damage, fire damage to your attack rolls. If it's attached to armor, then it just gives you a passive fire resist bonus.
Okay. That's pretty nice. I see no way it could go poorly to try and take one over this way.
Okay, so you make your way
I'd
around.
offer to help,
the
but I'm
side of the
literally the
statue.
center room.
You'll need something to pry those gems
Oh, I
out
gotta
of their eyes.
Ooh,
They look like
my
they're
any
pretty set in
tool.
there.
Hey!
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You pop out the any tool, and basically make it a crowbar and like jam it in there and start prying it out. It'll take you a little bit of time, but you have assurance athletics, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can with assurance you're able to just very carefully pop these things out with no issue. So yeah, it'll take you.
I
about
was
10
thinking
minutes to
thievery, I
do.
would not have been able to help with that.
But yeah, you're able to get them both out without
I will do that.
causing any trouble. Okay, so you guys hear prying sounds coming from the back of the room as Greshy makes his way over to the big vat. You could see from a distance, you could see the bubbling up at the top, but once you're right up next to it, you'd have to climb the ladder to really get a good look.
Alright, yeah. Let's take a look-see.
Okay. You grab hold of the sides of this metallic ladder. It's kind of built into the cauldron itself, so it feels pretty sturdy.
Oh, good, okay.
Climb your way up. And inside, you can see this very orangey, thick, viscousy liquid that feels or seems. It seems flesh-like, but flesh isn't liquid. So this is it's a liquid form of flesh, it seems. And you can see every time it bubbles and pops, there's like a little burst of blood, or what looks like blood inside.
Yeah.
Alright.
Gross.
And it's just kind
That's
of
pretty gross.
undulating and.
That's ultimate gross water. I must have it.
I have... Let's see. I have my water skin. I suppose I could put some in there if I wanted.
Ooh, don't drink that.
No, we're not taking any of this with us.
I've
but
forgotten
does this-
what's in my skin.
Does this
it
actually
smells,
look like...
it smells foul, by the way.
I imagine so. Does it look like any of the liquid in the vats at all? Or whatever's in there? Is this maybe what's turning them at all?
No, the liquid in the vat seems to be fairly clear looking. Like you can see through it to the creatures. This is much thicker.
Would it be the
You could
same
try to
stuff
take
diluted?
You could try to take another look at the creatures if you wanted. Now that you've taken a closer look at this liquid.
Sure.
Also, maybe if the pipes go through there.
Well, before I go take a look at them, these barrels that you were saying were sealed next to us, are there any labels or anything, since I'm right here, that might suggest what it might have been about?
Sure. You make your way over to the left side to take a look at these barrels, and the first one, they are labeled, but they're all in Thessalonian. You can read.
Great. That's right. I should know. I'm still very broken with my knowledge. It's super not there yet. I'm still learning from Asher, and we haven't had time to do any studies recently.
On some of them, you can read what seems to be the word for black, or the rune for black, or darkness. It's the same rune that you came across in the Black Monk's Tower. The mummy that you
Interesting.
brought ages ago.
I'm going
There's other words
to
there, but
carefully
you see
take one
the
of-
word black specifically.
I'm going to take one of the barrels. How big are they? Are they bigger than me?
Yeah.
About my size?
Yeah.
Like 4'9". Okay.
Yeah.
Can I carefully try to? Is there one on side that I could just start rolling, start pushing it towards other people?
None are on their side currently, but there is at least one single one, right about here, that you could probably.
Or are
knock
there any
over and-
empties?
No, none of them appear to be empty. They all look like they're, or at least you can't tell, but none of them are open. It seems they all seem to be nailed shut.
It doesn't seem open. All right. That's exactly what I was going to double check then. All right, I'll try to gently tip that one over and start rolling it towards somebody who can actually read Thessalonian.
Okay.
How we ended up on the wrong sides, or the right sides, really,
me-
for Asher.
Give me one athletics check,
Mm.
just to try and tip.
Why would you do this to
Oh
me?
boy.
It's not as bad as I thought. 28, excuse me.
28. Okay. It's heavy. So you try to like leverage it under your foot. It's not quite working. You then try to use your staff to kind of lever it onto its side, and that works. But it does kind of hit the ground with a thud. You hear like a soft crack, and through the edges of the barrel, this black dust kind of spills out in like a cloud. There's just kind of like a poof of black dust all around. It's not like the whole thing is broken and leaked out. It's just a soft cloud of black dust that quickly settles.
It just poofs out and then settles on the ground.
Yeah.
Cool. Does this look familiar to me at all? I can't imagine so, but perhaps we still use it
Crafting
somehow.
check?
Right. I actually know a thing or two about crafting nowadays, so here we are. 36.
36. You may or may not have run into it before, but you've definitely heard about this stuff. It's not super common, but this is black powder, used in the
Oh,
production of
this is that
guns
stuff that.
and-
Oh. I'm going to leave this here and walk carefully away from it.
Okay, realize
And try not and just make sure that nothing.
explosive
Yeah.
material.
Mhm.
Glad there's so much fire in this room.
I was just thinking that. That's part of why I'm. It'd be fun to
Do you
just
want to see my
roll
new
it along.
fire gems?
It would be great. I could have just rolled it along, created a trail going right back there, and then you show off your fire gem, light this, then it goes over and lights everything.
Hey guys, look, fireball.
You just blow out another
Whoa.
side of this chamber. Oh. That's
So there's some of the stuff on your hands, and you try to like wipe it off.
That's going to be great. All right. I'll just.
There's like this black soot.
So, I'm gonna try and trace these pods. Are they connected to any pipes? And where do those pipes lead? I can see.
You examine the pods, looking for any kind of connections or anything. The pods themselves don't go quite up to the ceiling. They're just a little bit more than a human height to fit the creature inside of them. The base, however, there's a good foot of metal at the base of each of these things. It's almost like they're sitting on a metal platform, and you can see that there's some kind of small tube or pipe or something, like just a half-inch of pipe jutting out of it, out of the base, and some kind of a very, very slight kind of mist. It's hard to say mist because like a liquid mist. I don't know, like an ink cloud almost. But it's very, very faint and almost translucent. It's very slightly orange in this.
Saying it's leaking out.
Light. Yeah, there's like something leaking out into the tube, but it's barely perceptible. Like when you're looking just at that pipe, you can see it, but you don't see it in the rest of the liquid. It seems like it's like dissolving right away.
Oh, I see. It's leaking out into the tube and dissolving right away. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And does that seem to be tracing down? I'm gonna make a guess that maybe it's like tracing down along this way and coming around the back.
That's hard to say.
Can I follow it to where it's coming from?
Well, the pipe, the little pipe is just entirely inside the each of the containers. You can't see where that goes, like underground or anything. Does that make sense?
Okay, so there's no, but we do see a big pipe in the wall.
No.
But we do see big pipes in the wall back here.
Oh, yes.
Going into that stuff. So my guess right now is that maybe they're somehow diluting this liquid flesh down and injecting it into these pods. Even though it's not, they're not full of that stuff exactly per Greshy, but any way we can turn that off or dump it out or anything?
I don't know about turning it off or dumping it out, but I did find some way to get rid of it entirely if we really want to go that far.
I suppose that would... How do you mean? Burn it? Break it?
I mean,
we could
burning
just smash the glass, but...
We could... let's stay out of the corner over there. It's explosive.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What about that one?
I haven't checked that one. I'm just more worried about the one that I know is going to explode.
Okay.
But I haven't checked out this other one with these barrels.
Well, maybe we should check what's that stuff then.
I mean, if it's more of the same, golly. I may just want to blow it all up. Not all of it. We should take some. It's useful. But I'll go check out the other barrels, I suppose.
Okay. Around this point, Asher, you'd be done prying those two gems out. So you have two greater flaming star gems.
Show us how the fireball works.
Yeah, I suppose they're actually both... They're pretty large, but they are actually negligible bulk. They're very light. And they're...
Okay.
They look like they were like full, like round gems, but they're actually only kind of half of a gem. And can be like placed like pretty flat. You'd have to do a fix action, which I think takes like 10 minutes or so. I forget how long it takes to affix something to a thing, but that is the thing you've got. Okay, so Greshy, you make your way up to the north there, and you were gonna go look at those barrels.
I just see if they're more the same.
I see. These are, unlike the other barrels, these are not nailed shut, and they're much smaller. Almost just kind of like wooden casks. You can make your way over to one and lift up the top. And inside is this fairly thick, metallic-looking liquid. It's not bubbling or anything.
Metallic?
It's totally motionless. At first, you don't realize that it's even a liquid, but you kind of accidentally bump the side of the barrel a little bit, and you can see it kind of wobble just slightly and ripple.
I don't know if I'm making the assumption this is mercury. I don't know if Greshy would know what it is, though. I don't even know if it's a mercury thing, but...
Crafting check? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
crafting.
do you have alchemical knowledge?
I do not.
Okay.
I have not done any alchemical studies, just magic.
Okay. So it's a natural 19 for 44.
So that's a 44 total. 45, I suppose, since we're in the Wrathwing.
That's true. You look at this stuff, and you've heard of mercury before. You're not quite sure that's what this is, though. This looks like steel, but in a liquid form. Like you've seen liquid steel at a forge. You know that it has to be quite hot to like maintain liquid form before you pour it into a mold. But you're not getting any heat off of this. But it sure does look like liquid steel. It's very, very bizarre. You've never seen anything like this, but you're almost certain that this has to be steel.
Some sort of steel. Can I want to dip something in it. What do I have? You know what? I'm gonna take I suppose I'll take a ration out. Something I can spare. And I want to kind of dip it in and see what happens to it. Well, I'll take some food out, I suppose. Piece of jerky or something.
Okay, sure.
I can make metal-coated jerky. I don't know if that'll happen, but...
You take out a piece of jerky from one of your rations, and kind of scoop it in to this liquid, and it's actually kind of hard to get the piece of jerky into the liquid. It seems to it's very, very thick, but if you press with enough force, you are able to kind of dip it in and kind of stir it around a bit and kind of pull it out. And the metal just kind of like falls away from it, or like falls off of it. It doesn't seem to stick to it.
Sure, it doesn't adhere at all. That's fine. So it's not that sort of magic.
Yeah, bits of metal kind of hang onto it, like a few drops here and there, but it's not like stuck.
Right, but it's like water sort of liquid. It's not actually somehow adhering and coating it at all.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea what the hell this is, Gunn, but it's metal of some sort. Steel, I think.
Well, that sounds pretty wild. I don't know what to tell you, but the materials in this place do seem like they could be useful if we could find a way other than destroying the whole place to shut it down. And I'm going to look at this
go ahead.
big cauldron and see if there's any kinds of ways that could be fiddled with, like levers and valves and things like that.
Where is Asher?
Where's Asher?
Turn it off.
All right.
What's
We
Asher
could
doing?
turn this system off.
What am I? I'm looking at this table now on my way up. Because it looks like there's notes and things, but I don't know what kind of flavor that is.
Yeah, so Gunn, I think, is going to go over here and start looking around. You can give me a perception check, Gunn, while Asher, you make your way over to one of these desks on your way towards the others, and start looking at some of the papers and things on the desks. They seem to be notes, all written in Thessalonian. You see one that is how to describe it. I guess you're not actually too knowledgeable about details of magic yourself, but you do see a couple of oh, and even though you do have knowledge of Thessalonian, the words here are pretty big and complicated. But picking up a couple of the pages, you see like handwritten notes about properties of flesh, something about accelerating a process. You look at a tome off to the side on this desk that is unlabeled, but you kind of just flip open the cover and turn a few pages in, and you see a bunch of notes also handwritten into this tome about the reproductive process of a human being, and it's basically an anatomy book, but with special attention to selecting for certain traits on newborns that can make the perfect perfect warrior.
Eugenics.
Yes, eugenics. I love this. I see. Okay. Well, that's interesting.
It's not, I wouldn't say it's quite eugenics. It's more about identifying early on whether or not a person will be a good warrior. And as you're kind of flipping through, there seems to be some kind of selection process for if you are decided, if you are a good warrior, then you go through the warrior training program. And the other pages seem to be dedicated to enhancing non-warriors to warrior status. And that seems to be all about flesh warping. And it talks about using the ancient techniques passed down through the great Elasnist, the creator of flesh warping.
How strange.
So 30
Fun.
for perception to try to find valves or like whatever switches for. Is there a source of fire here heating this thing up?
There doesn't appear to be a source of fire. The base of the cauldron does look warm. It is giving off a slight reddish glow, but you don't see any like visible fire. The 3 pipes in the back of the room, behind the cauldron, do have like twisty valves on them. Each
Does
pipe
Barizia
has.
follow?
Sorry,
Right,
lefty,
lefty,
lefty. Yes, generally, but you don't know if Thassalon follows that.
Oh, fair enough.
Each of the pipes has two such valves on it.
Maybe I better ask Greshy for his help with disabling this device. You might call it that.
All right. What am I doing? Let's see.
Maybe it seems like we could turn off the machinery from here, and I think it might stop the process that's happening over there.
Sounds good to me. If we can stop that, that'd be great. I'll give it a go, I suppose.
Check to disable.
Can I assist? I'm not trained or anything, but
Sure.
I had a
would
good
allow
look
you
at this
to-
thing.
I would allow your perception check to be an assist, which would be a critical. So,
Nice.
actually, no.
Guess who is a master in thievery?
Reroll the perception check. The perception check was to notice stuff.
Okay.
I'll let
do
you
that.
roll perception as the assist.
26.
Okay, so that is a success. So it's just a +1 because you're an expert. Okay, so 35 total. 34 plus the 1 from aid.
It'd be plus another 1 for being in the Wrathwing, so 36.
Feeling really good about destroying stuff.
36.
I should add it somehow. Actually,
Okay.
shouldn't have just caused havoc on my sheet. Never mind.
It's difficult to do, but the two of you working together are able to get get all of the pipes twisted the right way to apparently stop the bubbling from the flesh pot. And then when you go to check the actual pods themselves, the liquid that was seeping up from the base seems to no longer be doing so. So, certainly seems like you've managed to succeed at that. There doesn't seem to be any immediate, visible effect on the creatures that are in these tubes, but time will tell.
Do these tubes have hatches on the top?
No, that's just the art I have.
Okay. Do they have any
There's-
way, apparently, to open them and get stuff in?
To open them, I guess the whole front is like a hatch panel, sure. But each one has
Well, that's
yeah, so it's same difference.
that could get pretty messy if they're basically holding a bathtub's worth of goo.
Yeah,
So
that's basically what seems to be going on here. They have a front door on each one.
okay.
There appears to be some kind of complicated locking mechanism, but you could just as easily try to pick that or disable that.
Hmm.
Okay, Asher. Looks like you're looking through some more stuff.
Yep. Slowly I go.
Okay. Yeah, you're
Trying to
you
figure out
find
what would actually be the most merciful thing to do.
you find more of the same sorts of notes. Here, there appears to be a record of. There's one large tome on this other desk that you found. That seems to be a history of the Wrath clan. In the Runeforge. And it dates back some large number of years, 5,000 years. And there appears to be just a long history of various High Lords and High Ladies, rosters upon rosters of soldiers of varying sizes as the clan expands and shrinks. But as you get to the towards the end of the book, you see a large number of deceases. Many of them are the names also have a some kind of rune beside them. You can tell that there's a name and then some common rune, but you're not sure what that rune means. But some of the names have the rune, some of them don't. And on this page near the end, they normally mark when people have died, but on this page there's suddenly a bunch of them that have died, all around the same time.
Uh-oh.
And the remaining roster lists. Can I count? 6 without the marker by their name, and 5 with the marker by their name. Oh, sorry. Not even 5. There should be 3 with the marker by their name.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. Have I
It's making
seen
notes.
this marker before, or just it's new and fun?
No, it's a new marker. It seems to be your guess is like it's some kind of title or surname or something.
Okay.
It could be like a male or female symbol, or like some kind of gendered symbol.
Okay.
It could be a status symbol. You're not really sure. But the
Exciting.
clan, this iteration of the clan is supposed to have some hundreds of members, and a lot of them all died very suddenly.
Okay. Whoosh. That's exciting. Are there any... I'm gonna get my pointer out. Are there any, like, papers around this area, or is it mostly just tools and stuff?
Yeah, there's a few scattered papers and notes in that area. Some of them have been thrown to the floor by Gunn pushing some tables around, but there are papers around there.
Yeah. I'd like to pick up some and see if it says anything interesting about what's on the table.
Okay, you
It's a
pick up a
grocery
few.
list.
They seem to be observations on dying specimens, and some of the notes seem to be theories on replicating directly from a Sid spawn, from an existing Sid spawn. There's also
Okay.
some notes about using reverting from Sin spawn back to human, and some theorization on how that would go.
Oh,
How exciting.
Oh.
Maybe we've misunderstood. Maybe they're turning into human.
Because as you're looking through the papers, it seems like they were maybe trying to pursue these kind of two different paths, and they seem to be getting frustrated, and perhaps we're starting to give up on the idea of duplicating Sin Spawn, and we're instead perhaps begrudgingly considering going down the route of reversing the Sin Spawn process to make humans again so that they might reproduce.
Okay.
Or at least, if not restoring a Sin Spawn to human form, at least making a Sin Spawn capable of reproducing with a human again.
How exciting.
I think that's what they were actually trying here with these people in the vats. Did we just
It might
interrupt
be.
them from turning back?
We might have totally misread that situation. But I don't know. I guess they would originally have been Sin Spawn. Sin Spawn don't come from people. They
That's
come
what we
from...
thought.
Sarah
I don't
seems
know
the
if
other way
that's
around.
true.
Seems they do.
Yeah, so do
Or-
they...
Well, I mean,
They originally come
we-
from people, and
Where did the ones that came out of the well before come from?
Maybe they can, but they don't have to
Mm.
come from humans. Perhaps there are other. It may not need to be a human. It could be a creature of some sort can then become a Sin Spawn, because it could be something found its way down there and got transformed down in the catacombs.
These folks in here have been isolated from the outside world for thousands of years. Then they might not know the same techniques and such that were happening outside. Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the outside world might have found a way to create them directly from the rune wells, while the inside here they were stuck trying to reproduce them.
Maybe. I haven't seen a well yet. I don't think here.
Mhm.
They've made
Or
mentions.
whatever it's called.
They've made mentions of rune wells, but not in here. It's always been outside.
Mhm.
Been waking up or something.
Maybe the rune well is like
Well-
you're like, I place an order for one. It's like the Amazon where they shoot one up or sideways or down from here. Like a mail tube.
Well, I don't still feel super bad about shutting down whatever was happening here.
Yeah.
You mean abominations against nature?
Like, even if they were trying to make them human again, I doubt they would be sane people.
I have no idea.
If that makes
Maybe
sense.
they'll be really cool people, you know?
It's a nice thought, Asher.
I'm not seeing
Yes,
anything
we'll never
else
know.
to pursue in this room.
Do we
you wanted
want to
to-
take some black powder with us?
Is it safe to handle?
As long as we don't ignite it. And probably keep it away from hot and burny things.
Just throw it on someone and then I'll cast fireball.
That was exactly my thought,
How
actually.
much bulk would a barrel of black powder be?
Oh, I wasn't taking a,
Oh,
bolt,
dear
a barrel.
God.
That would be like filling a flask
Like
or a
10
horn or
bulk?
something. The barrel's bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, unless you really want to be pushing that around for a while. I don't.
Well, I mean, I just thought you just meant putting a barrel in one of the bags.
I mean, I could try to get the mouth over the barrel, but it's also pretty wide. Not quite as wide as me, but I also don't think I'd fit in one of those bags.
Yeah, I would say a barrel. One of these barrels is probably about 10 bulk.
I think we could manage it. Just kind of like turn it sideways and then kind of wiggle it over until it gets around. Loosen the neck enough.
I mean, if you want to try it, you can. I just don't. I'm a little concerned about messing around with black powder too
But
much.
What were you figuring?
Oh, I've got water skin. I can just fill it with black powder instead. We'll just have a little flask of powder to use for certain
Would
purposes.
that be enough to do anything useful?
I'll be honest, I've only heard of this stuff. I haven't played with it too much. Most of what I know is that it explodes, and it explodes pretty well, but you still have to know how to use it right. So unfortunately, I would have to experiment more with it. But at the very least, if we know it explodes, we could throw it at something. Asher could shoot an arrow at it, make it explode from the fire or something.
I would lean towards leaving it here where it's stored somewhat safely.
Literally fire there.
I was going to say definitions of
Fire there.
safely.
If we were going to take anything, I would lean toward taking an entire barrel.
Well, how about this? I'm going... Jason, how many bulk is one of the barrels of liquid steel?
Ooh, those though smaller in size
Mhm.
are about the same amount of bulk.
But they are smaller in size. So
Yes, they are smaller in size,
I-
but they're about 10 bulk just to weight.
well, it's up to you then if we can get to the mouth of one of the bags around the big barrel. I imagine we can do it around the smaller barrel. But
Which
that would
bags
also
do you
be up to you, I
have?
suppose. I have my knapsack of halfling kind, which is part of why I can't, I'm pretty confident, do the big barrel, because it's a halfling made bag.
You
I
wouldn't
don't
be
think
able
they're going
get
to
the
make it
halfling bag onto
enormous.
a big barrel, but you could do it on a small one.
All
Yeah,
right.
I have a regular bag of holding.
Our Mockmirian bag is gone. That would have been perfect.
Yeah,
I'm
The Mockmirian
sorry.
bag could fit
That's not your
just
fault.
It was a
immediately.
brief
Not
gift.
your fault. Regular bag of
Um,
holding, potentially.
A regular bag of holding with
If
some
we-
stretching and some effort, yeah, you could get the big barrel in.
If we take out these these axes,
How
Then
much
we have-
bulk are the axes?
I think
Each
I think
one
we're
was like
carrying
2
about
bulk.
10 bulk of axes and swords right now.
Total of 10 bulk of axes and swords, because we could probably transfer those to the halfling. The knapsack. Knapsack's bigger than the old bag of holding was. It's 50 instead of 25.
Oh, okay.
So it's just smaller is the concern.
Yeah.
But we can put pole arms and stuff in there. I'm not so worried about that. So we'll just transfer that over. Then you can spend some time conjuring with the barrel.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go hang out over here with Phelan.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys are dumping some of the swords into the room and loading up one of the barrels. Is that true?
We're gonna load up both, but we're gonna have to do it separately. So I guess, yeah, actually I should probably do that before I spend time with Phelan then. Hang on, Phelan.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get some liquid steel and see what we can do with that. All sorts of fun ingredients they've brought about for me here.
So Greshy is getting 1 barrel of liquid steel. Gunn is getting 1 barrel of
Black powder.
the black powder. What's Asher doing in the meantime?
This is the last table. Is there anything cool on this table?
On this table, it's more notes of the same variety. But you do see on the side of the table there is a small, not small. There's a wooden chest on one side of the table, with a note attached to it, and listed on the note is written. High Lady Athroxis has requisitioned. Sorry, I'm deciding the words as I'm saying them, but High Lady Athroxis has requisitioned the use of the Runeforge pool to create more weapon runes. Please use these rune stones to do so at earliest convenience.
Oh. Is the chest locked?
The chest is not locked.
I will open the chest.
Okay. You open the chest, and inside are about 12 thin gray stones. Each of them is flat and blank, but big enough to hold a rune. You would recognize these as rune stones, but they're all blank ones.
Nice.
Useful, actually. How long does it take to transfer a runestone?
4 hours, I think.
4 hours? Okay.
It might have been a day. I'd have to double check on that, but it's not the full crafting time, at least. It's not so bad.
That could be a way to leave behind the axes and such and just take runestones too.
It's true. Here's a bunch of runestones, and they're blank. I guess they were gonna try and throw these on weapons.
Is there anything in this room that could serve as a token or a totem for making a rune weapon in the Runeforged pool? With the ritual we've learned?
That is up for you to discuss and decide.
If I take a look around, has anything caught my eye?
Nothing that hasn't already caught your eye. You see arrays of weapons and armor on one side of the room, some uniforms. On the other side, you see the pods. There's the big vat of flesh, the fires.
The pods, or sorry, the liquid flesh and the fires are the only things that are standing out to me. So I'd like to consider those two things as potential ingredients. Do they have the same sort of energy as the other things that we've discovered?
Do you have Detect Magic? Or Read Aura?
I do not today, but I could ask Greshy to check those. Actually, do I? Let me check. I don't think I have. No.
Well, I've already detected magic on the fires, the ones in the center at least. I don't think I did on the vat, but I was looking at it.
I mean, you got that they were evocation magic.
Right. Yeah.
Do they look substantially, if I try to identify them, do they look substantially more powerful than your standard ever-burning torch? They look like something
Flame of
different.
some sort.
They're more impressive than a standard ever-burning torch. They're certainly bigger. Doesn't look too substantially different from a regular
Okay, that's kind of what
ever-burning torch, but at the same time, the mirrors in the Hall of Pride also just look like, I mean, they look like big-ass mirrors, so...
Fair. Well, these don't strike me as grand representations of wrath, and nothing here looks much like a kindness. So...
You don't think
perhaps
fire is wrathful?
fire is fairly indiscriminate.
Yeah, it's pretty destructive as well. I don't know.
Sure, but
Are those? I apologize. Are those on braziers? Are they just like single fires, literally coming out of nothing?
They're
I don't know
massive,
if they're attached to something.
They're large bronze braziers that have these flames kind of floating in them. The flame's not even quite touching the brazier itself, but they're clearly attached to them, or anchored rather.
So we could take one with us. We could also take some of the flesh with us. We'll take the other things in here, the liquid steel and the black powder. We've got all sorts of stuff to work with to try and figure out what might be
Can also
the
take
right thing.
well,
weapons.
I do have some empty flasks. I can take a
Weapons are good.
flask of the
like, yeah.
liquid flesh, I suppose.
that's good.
But just a sample.
Just a bit. We don't really want a whole lot because we're going to make your weapon with this, aren't we?
That's what I'm looking for. Yes.
I really hope it's not the flesh stuff. I don't want to have to make that into your sword.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right either. So maybe I'll just.
We'll see.
There's still a whole other room we could check, and we haven't found Lady Athraxis yet. Perhaps she can actually give us some information. Perhaps she's interested in speaking rather than fighting to the death for no reason.
Maybe to just kill everyone.
We did.
Not a
They
great
didn't give us
intro
much-
to your diplomacy.
They didn't give us much of a chance to.
Well, then we also murdered all the ones that
Negotiate.
were in these pods here. So, if there was any future, it's now gone. So. Whoops. To be fair, though, these were abominations against nature, and these people should have died a very long time ago.
Yeah, let's grab. Let's see about taking the other. If the other two warriors we killed in here have the same gear, then we'll add their mithril armor to the sack. Otherwise, I will leave them be.
So, like, if I'm thinking of a wrathful item, my thought always is like a weapon, and a weapon wielded by someone who is wrathful seems like.
That's a good point. These swords might not be that different from regular swords, but they might contain some wrathful energy.
If we're going for the one wielded by the most wrathful, I assume that's going to be the High Lady.
Probably.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe she's willing to talk, maybe not, but I would imagine she's in charge for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she has some angry stuff.
Well,
we all have issues to work out.
We have at least one of their falchions.
That's true.
So
We have the axe too. No, the axe was
I
from
think
a
the
room.
axes came from
Yeah.
the rune.
Yeah, it
sorry,
wasn't
from the
quite.
sin spawn.
But the sin spawn, because those are very angry
Mm-hmm.
or wrathful.
Do these? I'll search the fallen warriors of wrath here as I get ready to leave, and
Okay.
unless there's anything else we're looking for here.
Yeah, the two of them both have the mithril chain shirts, and one of them has a +1 striking falchion. The other one has a +1 striking greatsword. Anywhere I said +1 great swords and great axes and stuff, those should all be +1 striking. Just to be clear about that.
Gotcha.
Right.
The the one that you're standing right next to right now, the northern of the two bodies, she has on her another set of alchemist tools and what look like two distinct mystery liquids.
Distinct as in different kinds?
Yes. I mean that she's got a bunch of reagents on her, and there's two vials that seem to be like actual things that you could use. She has two items on her.
But they're not the same. They're not the same. That's what I'm getting at.
They don't look like they're the same. One of them is a clear liquid with some silver specks. The other one is a silver liquid with clear specks. So they could be similar, but you're not sure. These would actually require alchemy knowledge to identify.
Mm-hmm. I suppose...
Or you just drink it, see what happens.
In the bag with all of it, and then I'm ready to go when you guys are.
Alright. Where did I go? There.
I mean... Sure, I suppose. We can get moving.
Is there anything else here you wanted to check out?
No, but I was going to take a breather, but
Oh,
we can keep going.
take a break. Greshy needs his rest.
It's been a bit. Also, I mean, we're all a bit battered and bruised, but mostly I was hoping to spend some time and try and tune, see how if I can hear anything.
Can
Hear
you
anything?
watch?
Have I not told you of the songs?
I don't think so.
Songs?
I'm not. Are you hearing songs now?
Not since I've been
right
here,
now?
not really.
When were you hearing songs?
Always.
Always?
Hi.
What song? What are they? Happy songs?
I'm surprised you haven't heard it, Asher. It's the nature song.
Yeah. Why haven't I heard the nature song?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Maybe you have and you just don't know what you're hearing.
What if we go back to the previous room to do that, where we can at least watch
Sure.
people coming and going?
That's fine. I wasn't sure if this was more secure or not, but I just didn't want us to get going too far. Shall we?
Sure.
Watch them be out there now.
We'll find out.
One last look. Is there any change to the state of the people in these tubes since we've shut off are they like still in there breathing, or are they?
Okay, so Greshy gets into the circle and warps away. Gunn has a second thought and turns back and looks at, I guess, what the closest two.
Yeah, the closest.
The person in there is floating. They don't seem to have changed in any material way. They're still breathing, or it seems like they're breathing. The chest is moving up and down. You're not really sure.
Okay. Well, into the portal then.
Yeah, I guess you guys. Couldn't you guys just do what I did with the love wing and get really mad with a sword in your hand? Power it up for 3 hours?
Possibly, I suppose.
Possibly.
So
Should we?
you'll probably remember.
Oh!
Ooh, someone's buying underwear. Oh no, they poop their underwear, and they want us to become famous. Cool.
Is that how you become famous?
I guess.
It depends on where you
Twitch.
do it. It's the circumstances that make you famous.
Sorry, be gone, bot. Okay,
Yikes.
bot deleted.
There are better. There's got to be better ways.
So Asher, you guys warp and you continue talking about this, but you do recall that fuck, I'm forgetting her name. Delvaheen Delvine specifically said that the devices that she allowed you to use were specially crafted by her to absorb that energy. So she very much made those devices specifically.
Okay.
For that purpose. So you get the sense that it might require, if it was in fact a weapon that was needed, then it might require a specific weapon or something that could absorb those feelings of wrath.
Alright, we gotta find a cool weapon.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm just kind of feeling sad for all those poor souls in the vats.
A sin spawn that were turning human.
Whichever direction they were going, it's pretty messed up.
I don't know, maybe they liked it. Maybe they were like, yeah, let's do it.
Alright. Well, looks like Greshy is chilling out in that room.
Yeah.
So if you're doing any kind of attunement, go ahead. You guys can have your 10 minutes.
Just refocusing.
Okay. Yeah, 10 minutes to refocus.
I'll keep watch.
And Gunn does as well.
Can I? Yeah, I'll heal a little bit and then also refocus.
Okay. So it's more that Asher is keeping watch while the two of you are resting, thinking about what to do next. Asher, over the course of those 10 minutes, you don't notice anybody coming in or out. You don't hear any sounds. Nothing seems to change. Just the occasional wiggle of the training dummies in sequence.
Does Asher hear the nature song?
Yeah, where is that song?
No, you
Maybe
weren't.
it's not a song for me.
You weren't trying to refocus, so you didn't seem to notice anything different. You just hear the flickering.
I would have,
flames in
but
the
this room was too short for me to change into anything.
Didn't want to.
For Greshy, it is actually the rhythm of the flames crackling in all of these rooms, echoing, that gives you some semblance of that feeling of being connected to nature, of being connected to the world around you, even though it's artificial and you can tell it's artificial. It's like a manufactured boy band, I guess. You can listen to it and appreciate that it is still music. Hey, maybe even enjoy it, but you maybe don't. You recognize
it's more the city song at that point.
Yes, that's true. It is much closer.
You
to
laugh.
The city song.
That's what drew Greshy to Magnemar.
So maybe you actually find it quite comfortable here.
That'll do.
Okay.
It's not the worst place I've ever had to spend a night. Or 10 minutes.
Did sleep next to that dead guy.
Did you refocus just 1 point or 2?
I can refocus 2 as long as I spent 2 since the last time I refocused.
Okay, cool.
Which I had to go back and double check that I had, but last session I spent 1 to heal Phelan, and then I did again this session.
All right, sounds good. All right, what do you guys do?
Should we check out the other room?
Yeah, my only thing that I have on my list is try the portal in the opposite room.
Sounds good to me. Let me squeeze Phelan out of here. Asher.
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm planning my GPS.
That's probably smart. You know what? I will go ahead and shrink Phelan down and just put him in my pocket for us to get through here.
Okay.
There should be a path through here. I did my best to make one as.
I'm sure Greshy can get through fine.
Yeah, once Phelan
We'll
is
make
shrunk down, it's easy enough to do.
I'm not gonna just bring him back to normal size once we're on the other side. No big deal.
Yep.
Do they? So I have this might be a bad idea actually now that we found gunpowder, but I'm like, if they had alchemical things that blew up, could we? I guess you couldn't throw it because it would take like a whole turn. But you could just throw it in one of the doors, it pops up and explodes.
We could try putting it on the teleporter, set a fuse
Yeah,
for
fuse
say
it.
6 seconds or so, and then see what happens on the other side.
Yeah, I sure.
I don't actually suggest doing that because it's possible that it would break and we wouldn't be able to go through ourselves, and I don't know how to get around this place. But if it did work, that could be really fun.
That would be pretty impressive.
I really want to do that.
They're all hanging around waiting for something to come through so they can fight it, and then they just send through a lit barrel of gunpowder.
One shows up in the middle of nowhere and explodes.
And they go,
Unfortunately, I don't think I have a fuse, so we'll just
Will
have
it
to do it the
just
old-fashioned way.
teleport anything? Hold on, hold on.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna pick. Is there like a thing I can pick up? A little rock.
write
I'll
a
pick up
little
one of
note.
these weapons.
Write a note. Say like, we want to talk.
Talk.
Do it. That's perfect. Write it in Thessalonian, Asher.
Oh boy, we just want to talk.
Yeah, I
Let's
mean,
write it now.
we do. We want to talk to her.
Okay. All right. I take out my little parchment. We just want to talk. All right. I'm gonna email this. Quickly toss it. Whoop.
Okay, you try not to step into the circle and gently toss the note onto the teleportation circle.
It's like,
and
please
jump
reply
back.
yes, no. Circle 1.
The note lands gracefully on the teleporter, and then a moment later, the teleporter's the blue circle flares up. The light, the blue light envelops the letter, and it disappears.
All right. I guess it would come out this end. Asher stares hopefully. I hope they circle yes. They write in maybe and circle it.
What did you write again? Sorry.
Oh, we want to talk. Yes, no, circle 1.
In Thessalonian.
Yes.
You've got to think about this.
My God, they're actually gonna reply.
You wait a while, hopeful, expecting. Nothing happens for a few minutes. You start to grow impatient. And then you see the red circles start to light up.
Woo.
And in the center of
He
the
was right. We didn't
circle,
consider they may not have been able to write back.
in the center of the circle is that same piece of parchment flipped over on its back. The edges charred, singed, but very neat, clean Thessalonian writing written on the back.
Ooh. All right. I'm grabbing that.
Before you grab that, can I make sure it's not been like enchanted to explode with a rune,
No,
perhaps,
it's
of some
fine.
sort?
Asher like almost touches it and stops.
Do you
I
actually
just
stop?
want to detect magic on it.
Okay,
Mm.
sure. Detect magic.
Stop right before.
Greshy casts Detect Magic. You pick up Conjuration in the area,
Mhm.
and
the circles.
the magic circle obviously being the strongest of that. But you're not really picking up anything off the note other than some light evocation around the edges.
Oh. Well, that makes sense then. She got Bernie for some reason. Go ahead, Asher. If it explodes, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I pick up the note to read it.
Okay, you pick up the note, turn it over to check that it is in fact the same parchment that you had before. Look back at the runes written in very clean, neat Thessalonian, and it says, "To be continued." And that is where you shall end the session for tonight.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's clearly a very nice note.
Very, very nice note. She's got nice handwriting. All right. That'll do it for today. Thank you all for joining us. I'll give you the real details of what she says next time on Third Action. I think we're all playing next week. Is that true?
Aye, let's do this.
22nd. That's pre-Thanksgiving, so I think we're good to go. Next time.
Aye, gobble gobble.
Hopefully we continue with no internet problems whatsoever. Yay! Thanks for checking us out. As per usual, you can catch up on all the old episodes on youtube.com/thirdaction. Find our Twitter at Third Action Show, or join our Discord, which is in the link below somewhere. I don't know. Come say hi, come post pictures of doors. Cool. Later.